What is up, hard rock and metal fans? Yes, so we are back and we are here with a brand new installment of one of the most legendary groups that has ever been, right up there with the other two major that formed the, you could say, Holy Trinity that dominated the late 60s, throughout the 70s, and have had the most profound influence in music: Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, and of course now Led Zeppelin. Now, I know a lot of you guys had written in because many of you were very surprised that I had no video put out as yet on Led Zeppelin. But the truth is, guys, it wasn't that I was trying to think less of these guys. No way at all. These guys deserve every accolade and mention that they get. They are profound in so many ways, just like Black Sabbath and Deep Purple and many other great bands. And I just wanted to actually, again, talk about the albums that many of you who have never heard Led Zeppelin or maybe have heard a casual or passing single or song and just wanted to actually know what albums to actually check out, because obviously here in the series we talk about albums because for many of us old school guys and more, more music, hard rock and metal fans, we love albums. We love songs, but we love albums as well. They're like a slice of time with particular lineups. So it's like a chapter in a band's history. It stands for something. It means something. For those of us who remember music shops, how it was to go in and find a record or LP or CD or tape and just hold that, look at the artwork, look at everything else, listen to that album start to finish, discuss it, trade albums with each other. I'm a guy from the late 80s and 90s, obviously, so I grew up around music shops in a big way, so I remember all of that, and it's good to see a sort of return to some of that in some places, and it's good to see positive discussions happening. But anyway, I'm meandering. Let's get back to it. So obviously Led Zeppelin, the iconic kings who rightly earned that crown, unfortunately had not the longest run compared to their peers, because very sadly the passing of John Bonham in 1980 brought that to an end. But still, we all celebrate his contribution, his music, along with the rest of the bands, and it's safe to say that Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones and Robert Plant have continued in their various capacities. And even when they had the short reunion, I think it was in 2007 at the O2 Arena, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I think and John Bonham's son, I think Jason Bonham, if I'm not getting his name wrong, he played drums, so it was really awesome to see that. So for those of you who are new, those of you who are Zeppelin fans, let me know what your thoughts are. Weigh in with your reviews on this. But where do we really start for guys who are just getting into Zeppelin? What are the 3 records that they need to check out? Now, obviously, Zeppelin does not have an extensive discography, unfortunately. I think it's just sadly because the band's run was cut so unfortunately short. But starting from 69's Led Zeppelin all the way up to the compilation 1982's Coda, they have some pretty fantastic tunes and albums across that stretch. So, what is the first record that you can listen to? Well, my recommendation would be this one, Led Zeppelin 2, first record. Okay, it has the iconic song A Whole Lot of Love. Really interesting riff by Jimmy Page. Very interesting drum and bass guitar sounds and so on. John Paul Jones, who I would actually regard as my more favorite member of the band. I just really like all the contributions he made, not to discount the other guys, but I really think this is a great record to actually start with if you're new to Zeppelin. This has got great tracks like What It Is and What Should Never Be, the Lemon Song, Thank You, Bring It Home, Ramble On, Living Loving Maid, She's Just a Woman if I am not wrong, Heartbreaker, and the instrumental Moby Dick. A great album, very iconic, lots of great things to actually check out and enjoy, and definitely something would give you a good flavor, a sense of the style, swagger, and the different styles that each of the 4 band members brought to the table, and what made it so special. So this is the first one. The next one, which I would highly recommend, has to be this one. This is my all-time favorite Zeppelin album. Believe it or not, it doesn't have a title. It's untitled actually, but most fans throughout the decade since its release have always referred to it as Led Zeppelin 4 because that was a naming order. It was like Led Zeppelin 1 or just Led Zeppelin, but kind of referred to as 1, Led Zeppelin 2, Led Zeppelin 3, and this was referred to as Led Zeppelin 4. And then, of course, when you had the other ones that came in, like Houses of the Holy, Physical Graffiti, Presence, In Through the Outdoor, those obviously had proper names, but these were the first 4 albums which have a certain thing, so it made sense to call this Led Zeppelin 4. So Led Zeppelin 4, this has the iconic track which I'm sure most of you would know. It's arguably Led Zeppelin's most famous song, which is Stairway to Heaven. But you have other great tracks like Black Dog, Rock and Roll, The Battle of Evermore, Misty Mountain Hop, my personal favorite off this record. I really like this very funky, a time signature and the way this song just sort of flows. It's just something really neat about it. Makes you want to tap your feet. So 4-6 is, I would say, a little bizarre in some ways for me. Just for me, guys. I'm not trying to say it's a bad track, but it's probably the one track which I don't listen to as often, but it's still a good song, don't get me wrong. Going to California, beautiful. The Battle of Evermore, and When the Levee Breaks. That is, in fact, a really great track as well. Something that you just want to probably punch repeat on a few times. And overall, this is arguably, again, regarded by many Lepson. I won't say most would be a too strong a word to use here, but by many Zeppelin fans as, the definitive Zeppelin album. Now, many guys might argue, but overall, this is the one that, they call as the crown jewel, so to speak. Now, some Zeppelin fans have different views. You guys, you let me know what you think in the comments below. You don't have to agree with me. Just my opinion, just the opinion of a few other guys who I know and guys I've talked to over the years, plus things I've seen as well in different music magazines and so on. So let me know what you think. Okay, so that's one. The first one, Led Zeppelin 2, Led Zeppelin 4, and finally, the third album you should definitely check out if you just want to sample Zeppelin sound has to be this one, Physical Graffiti. Okay, this rules. Okay, raw. God, I'm getting tongue twisted. This rules. Okay, guys. Now this is one heck of an album. I think that there's something really strong about this record. It's just got a lot to it. I think that there's some very strong moments out here. That truly stand out. And I think that, if you want to go with very particular songs, I think my personal favorite is Trampled Underfoot. Just really like that. Obviously, you had the epic song Kashmir on here as well. So that is, in fact, something, which you can definitely listen to a few times. I know some guys who just put it on continuous loops. You have, quite a few other tracks as well, which is like In My Time of Dying. And then you have, In the Light and, 10 Years Gone. You have, other, Night Flight, which was, if I'm not wrong, it was on the album. It came as a bonus thing. I'm not sure, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's just a little vague for me right now. But you have some really good tracks. I think Sick Again was another great track, which is on this record. So overall, Physical Graffiti is a very strong one. You have even songs like Custard Pie, believe it or not. So I would say that it was essentially a really good record for me to actually get into and, to sort of, listen to when I first got it. But those are the three that I would recommend, guys, quite highly for this legendary band. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Love to hear from you. Thanks again for all the guys who've written in and asked me about not only this video, but a few others, which I promise I will be doing very shortly. If not now, perhaps maybe in the new year, you'll expect some more to this series. Thanks again for liking, subscribing. I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Take care and rock on.